crab has the ability to shed and regenerate its limbs, often giving up a leg to a serious predator in the hopes that the predator will not be too hungry and will leave the rest of the crab alone.
Another group of creatures capable of regeneration are the sea stars. In fact, in some cases, should the animal be cut into 2 or more pieces, a corresponding number of complete and separate animals will eventually develop. Relying on a remarkable system of hydraulics for locomotion and a single photosensitive cell on the tip of each arm for sight, the sea stars appear as truly otherworldly beings. As successful predators which have adapted to life in the deepest abyss or the shallowest shoreline, the sea stars prey on shellfish, sponges, anemones, fish, and other sea stars. Once the victim has been located, it's grasped or opened with a pressure sometimes exceeding 100 pounds. The sea star then forces its own stomach out of its body into and over the meal, where it's digested before being passed back through the mouth.
The waters of the Pacific Northwest support the greatest variety of sea stars anywhere on Earth. The sunflower star with its 20 or more arms is the largest sea star and is only found here. On the underside of the sunflower star are tens and thousands of tiny tube feet, which enable the animal to glide over the roughest of surfaces with a seemingly effortless grace at a breakneck speed of 1/8 of a mile an hour. Now, 1/8 of a mile an hour may not seem very fast to you or me, but the sunflower star can make it around the aquarium in about an hour. That's pretty fast considering their main source of food are clams and other shellfish, which can only move about 10 to 12 feet per year. The sea stars definitely have an advantage over their prey.
Anemones are now known to be carnivorous animals, closely related to the corals, hydroids, and jellyfish. In fact, anemones could almost be considered jellyfish that have decided to stand on their heads and attach to the rock for a while. The tentacles are equipped with stinging cells, which act like tiny harpoons, barbed and poisonous. Should some unfortunate creature come into contact with them, they are snared, paralyzed, and drawn through the mouth into the body cavity. As very prolific and colorful as flowers, anemones will often congregate in huge numbers, where the action of wave and current afford a rich and plentiful food supply. In these areas, the sea floor is transformed into a living yet ghostly garden.
Now, not all anemones remain attached to the sea floor. When faced with a predator, some can actually burrow into the sand, while others just simply swim away. The most common defense for the anemone is to fold up its tentacles and become a featureless blob on the rock. The anemone also assumes this position while digesting its food. The natural laws of the jungle also apply to the creatures of the sea. However, in order to keep our marine life happy, we've interfered with nature just slightly to provide a feeding time. Although difficult to train many fish, Jim has conditioned our marine life to respond to the sound of a dinner bell. Fish in the world can be appreciated for their stunning beauty, complexity, and for their importance in the food chain. It is often a surprise to many people that fish are very long-lived. A lifespan of 30 to 40 years is not uncommon. Most of the fish you see swimming around Jim are various species of perch and rockfish. We have 3 kinds of perch. We have tile perch, silver surf perch, and striped sea perch. We also have quite an array of rockfish as well. Those are the fish that look like they have the mohawk haircut running down their back. You may have also seen some of our flounders. They are the flatfish normally found on the bottom of the sea floor. They are born upright like other fish, but as they mature, they shift to their side and one of their eyeballs actually migrates to the other side of their their head, and they spend the rest of their life swimming around sideways. We also have a few prehistoric white sturgeons. They can live in both fresh and salt water and can grow to be 24 feet in length and live to be around 100 years old.
Ferocious-looking wolf eel is in fact an elongated fish, sometimes growing to 8 feet in length. Its powerful jaws, equipped with 20 needle-sharp teeth, enable it to eat many hard-shelled creatures, including sea urchins, which it effortlessly crushes, shells, spines, and all. The wolf eel's evil appearance is only skin deep, for they usually mate for life, and even in the wild, are eager to please and play with divers. The male wolf eel, although larger and heavier than the female, is the less aggressive of the two, and often bears the scars of past domestic strife. As juveniles, both male and female are brilliant orange in color, which gradually fades to the mottled gray and black of the adult.
Taking up residence in rocky dens and guarding them jealously, wolf eels are often encountered by divers with only their faces peering out of the holes in the rocks, appearing for the world like a pair of exquisite underwater muppets. At the gardens, the wolf eels become a firm favorite because they are both friendly and fascinating.
The 19th century writer, Victor Hugo, described the manner in which an octopus ingests food, in this case, a human being. You enter the beast. You become one. The tiger can only devour you. The devilfish inhales you. He draws you to him, into him, and bound and helpless, you feel yourself emptied into his frightful sack, which is a monster. To be eaten alive is more than terrible, but to be drunk alive is inexpressible. Tales of giant octopus dragging ships and sailors to their doom and guarding the treasures of sunken galleons have assured the octopus an evil, yet totally undeserved reputation.
He's gonna see if he can get this off.
The largest octopus in the world occurs right here in Pacific Northwest waters and often reaches up to 18 feet across. The largest known specimen was captured off Victoria, BC in 1885 and measured 32 feet, almost 10 meters, from tentacle tip to tentacle tip.
He comes down with an infinite
monster, but rather a shy, intelligent creature, and a master of his world.
The octopus has 8 arms which are covered with 1,600 suction cups. Each one of these cups can be manipulated independently. The octopus also has a backup means of movement. Jet propulsion. By flooding the mantle cavity and forcing water through a siphon, the octopus can escape danger up to 20 miles an hour. As a master disguise, it can change both color and texture to blend into its surroundings.
Located at the base of his tentacles. Their eyesight is excellent, and experiments have shown them capable of solving quite complex problems involving manipulation and memory. Just prior to laying her eggs, the female octopus selects a suitable cave with the narrowest of possible entrances. Once inside, she hangs her eggs from the roof, and for the next 4 to 6 months, never leaves them to feed, but lives off her own body fats and proteins. The female will shrink to half her normal size during this incubation period, and then, on the week when the eggs finally begin to hatch, she is so consumed herself that she dies within the cave, as her orphaned offspring run the gauntlet of hungry creatures lurking outside. of us, the sea is an alien place. We're not consciously affected by it. We give it no emotional thought, but it is essential that we do. For many of us, the sight of the distant stars and planets is more familiar than that of our own ocean realm. Only through understanding that we are all directly linked to and dependent upon the fragile beauty of the sea and its inhabitants will we ensure their survival, and by doing so, ensure our own. We've just spent a few brief moments with some of the creatures of the sea, with whom we share this, our planet ocean.
Here he comes. I'd like to thank you all for coming to the Undersea Gardens today. Can we give Jim a big round of applause for putting on a great show? Thank you all very much for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. While on your Bayfront trip, please be sure to visit Waxworks and Ripley's Believe It or Not. They're just across the street in Mariner Square. Jim should be upstairs in about 10 minutes and would be happy to answer any questions you may have for him. Thank you all very much.